What does everyone need to survive COVID-19? Healthy RBCs which don't get in the way of adaptive immunity. RBCs are like children. It's important to provide them uncontaminated food and water, but they need parental support to thrive. Exercise is like the father figure, a strict disciplinarian. It whips them into shape through hydrostatic compression. Sunshine is the maternal figure, providing similar modifications. What happens during illness? There's a divorce. Kids go to the mother. The abusive father doesn't even get visitation rights. People stop running around. What our remote ancestors had to do was park themselves next to whatever fresh water they could find and soak up rays. That was great because sunshine is one heck of a mom. There's nothing exercise provides these cells that can't be duplicated or done better by sunlight. The sun comes along and says, here you go, the greatest of all gifts, better iron withholding. And vitamin D tells the body, hey, let's get bold. Go push iron into circulation. It's fine. The sun has protected you. The body obliges by downregulating the hepcidin and ferroportin axis. It also acts through MRAP1 to enhance the iron recycling efficiency of erythrophagocytosis. Vitamin D signaling also stimulates hepatic transferrin synthesis and sends erythropoiesis into hyperdrive by potentiating the effects of EPO on RBC precursors. It translocates iron from the reticuloendothelial compartment to the blood, just as we would expect, considering the manner in which sunlight bolsters iron containment. Perfectly fine when sunlight is funneling iron into the reticuloendothelial compartment and improving iron withholding. But this is an overly bold, cavalier move if you're not getting sun exposure. These are finely calibrated parameters of iron handling. Extra vitamin D comes in and tells the body, go nuts, you're in good shape. Abandon the desire to withhold iron. Stop using the strategy needed to beat this disease. Vitamin D acts directly to shut down the adaptive response, but it also acts directly and indirectly to cripple the body's iron withholding defense system, a system which is essential to the adaptive response itself. There wouldn't be so much reason to worry if thousands of news outlets around the world were recommending potassium cyanide. Very few people would die. As it stands, we can expect millions of people to begin and/or continue making themselves more susceptible to respiratory complications. I want to remind people that vitamin D-mediated mineral absorption revolves around iron. We know it's not calcium. That's not the target. Iron deprivation upregulates both the synthesis and phosphorylation of the vitamin D receptor. The anatomy alone speaks clearly to the fact that we should be calling it the vitamin D axis of iron absorption. It is the absorptive cells within the proximal small bowel which are most responsive to the effects of vitamin D, not the calcium absorbers in the distal small bowel. And we know, by percent increase, vitamin D is much more effective at enhancing heavy metal absorption than light metal absorption. Now, no organism has ever possessed a perfect RBC, and one reason is that inessential metals are a problem in every erythrocyte. It's just a relative problem. We want as little intraerythrocytic oxidative stress as possible because we want healthy blood. Exercise and sun exposure give us that. But it's hard to overcome these problems if we're poisoning the blood with lead and cadmium and aluminum and all this stuff. Good news is that these people who have been taking oral vitamin D should be even more amenable to solar blood augmentation. They're going to see more vesiculation and senescence when they go in the sun. And light-intensified transcutaneous metal excretion is also that way. It's just that the benefits are nowhere near as rapid. With photoferrokinesis, we're talking about hours to seriously improve systemic iron containment. Make ourselves less vulnerable. No, it's not a long-term solution, but I have posted videos explaining why survival should be about 100% this summer.